All right, guys, good morning. I'm going to do a video this morning before church, so I'm just getting ready to go. So basically, I was just online, ministries 24/7. I was online and I was looking at a post by Kristen Hawkins. And she had a meeting as she goes on tour, different colleges, and talks about the pro-life movement. We see a huge backlash with people saying, you don't do enough. What are you doing? You don't provide childcare, you don't do this, but you tell us to have children. I went on there and I left a comment, and this is with New Hampshire Right to Life and other people on there, that we truly do not do enough. And I think that the other side has some points with this. There is no compromise at all. None when it comes to abortion. Abortion's a black and white issue, no doubt about it. But there is some middle ground. And the middle ground is, why are people getting abortions? What are the reasons? And those are the things we want to solve. We want to solve what's going on. For this group of people, they stood there and said that we don't do enough. And you know what? I agree with them. We do not do enough. And for those reasons, poverty has been a big reason people have not wanted to have children. My family came from the projects. My grandmother had 10 in the projects, dirt poor. So my mother saw that and did not want that for me. But at the same time, there's other reasons. I think because my dad was an atheist, he didn't feel like it was wrong. There's other reasons that people get abortions. But if we can solve the poverty one, I think we would do a lot of good. We are not doing enough. As I work across the lines, calling pregnancy centers, seeing what they do, what they offer, and how we can help them, there's not enough help still. I mean, I've seen some pretty creative things. I've seen drive-through pregnancy centers where you can go over, pick up diapers and everything like that. But what I'm not seeing, and there is a lot of help, don't get me wrong, there is a lot. There's prenatal help, there's free health care in many cases, but there is not the ongoing help that women need. There's not enough of it. Usually it's up to, I don't know, maybe 5, but it does not do what we need. And what I'm talking about is rent, utilities, car repairs. These are all the basics in life. And coming from where I went to college, and then I went to hairdressing school, so I am educated, much more educated than my family was. My grandmother didn't even work, so I cannot imagine what she went through with hardly any money. But coming from, my mother did work, my father had a good job, and then we had things. But a lot of times that stuff does still not take care of, like we had a lot, but where I chose to be home with my kids and have 5, not just 2 kids my mother had, but 5, things are very different. So we're living in an economy that really doesn't value family as much. And so the economy doesn't always support big families in the way that we need. We need women to be able to stay home if they want to. And we're living in a crazy economy right now. So I'm somebody too who has learned to work hard in life. I'm a go-getter. And as somebody who is a hard worker, let me tell you, a job can go for any reason out the door that you can't even explain. So recently I was at Broadmoor. I am an excellent worker, and they had a policy, but they hid behind the policy. I already knew something was going on before this happened. And to be honest, some people just don't like you. Okay, they don't like that you're a Christian. You can lose a job over that. I'm a big pro-lifer, so sometimes, and this is kind of my gut feeling about this job, is somebody knows somebody who's on the opposite side of the pro-life movement. And one of my coworkers, he even said, you're being singled out. And I said, that's okay. And he goes, no, it's not okay. And, so I saw this coming, this very plan to get me out of there. And I really did not even do anything wrong. It's just, sometimes it can be any reason you can lose a job. It can be you won't go out for drinks at night with the group or whatever it is. So there's not a lot of security sometimes in a job. And this is why you have to rely on yourself. Okay, you do. I mean, I already have an interview set up for another job. But at the same time, even with all that work that a woman can do, she still needs help. And so, for example, like I have the rent due. And because of my husband's actions, he has chosen divorce. And it's something that I cannot control. So I get $120 from him each week. That doesn't cover really anything. So even with me working and just starting to pick up, just like this last, month and a half or so at Broadmoor, it still has not gotten me ahead of the game yet. So I still have rent to pay and some other things to pay. And luckily a church kicked in $500. I have another church probably taking care of $700. So things happen. I have a son who lost a job recently, no fault of his own. And things happen in life. I remember my grandmother saying that. I go, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Some stuff that happened in their life. She said sometimes things happen. They had a fire and lost everything. They had other things going on. So I really have a heart for the poor, and I understand how hard it can be. And my point is we need to do a lot more. We really do. I had family on my other side who has money. They have land. They're rich. And that's great, but it doesn't take care of some other things in life. Money is not the only solution to have a good life. There's a lot of things. So for example, my husband doesn't want to be married. No matter how much money he sends, it's not going to take care of that gap that his sons will have without having a father in their life. That can lead to criminal stuff. That can lead to a whole bunch of other things. So I'm somebody who wanted to turn everything around in my family and build a family that was much stronger. But when you have a husband who doesn't want to cooperate, he doesn't want to work with you, it just isn't going to happen. So what we need in the pro-life movement is we need much, much more help for women. So I'm talking about coming from an education. I'm talking about homeschooling my kids, staying home with my kids, trying to do everything right. And now I have situations beyond my control. And, I think about this and I say, okay, God, why am I going through this? What did I do? Why did I deserve this? And so as I think about this, like I still haven't found help with car repairs. Like I said, I have a husband who will not be responsible. So that right there for a woman will put her behind. Even when she works, even if I work, it's still not the same amount. So we need ongoing rental assistance. I've had help for about the whole year with rent, luckily. If I did not have those resources available to me, I don't know what I would do. I mean, even working 2 or 3 jobs, I guess, without a car because I can't find car repairs, I would have had to compromise some of the parenting that I need to be here with my sons, especially my minor. He still is not an adult and still needs guidance in many ways. So you don't want to have to compromise your relationships. I definitely could have done 3 jobs if I really had to, but luckily the church is there. Luckily I'm healthy, okay? If something happens to me, I will not be able to work. And then what? And then what am I supposed to do? I don't believe I can have my husband's Social Security. I don't think that will work. I will have mine. Luckily, I did work, and this is something that you probably should do if you have a husband who, even demands that you really wants you to be home and give him all your time. but yet doesn't want to take care of you. So work is good. But we need more help. That's all there is to it. There's not enough. The way the policies are set up at many jobs, it's a lot of jobs are very greedy. They expect you to be married to them. They expect you to give all your free time to them. If it's not working, it's in meetings or phone calls with them. So we really need to find more solutions for women. We need all the care that we can have all the way up, and probably even after our kids leave. I'm not talking about socialism. I'm just talking about making sure that women are very taken care of. And I know in the past women have been mistreated. They haven't always been treated right. I don't know why that is, because women are the heart of the nation. We are. We have so much influence and so much to offer, that we should be really being taken care of. You know, mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers. So we shouldn't have to be going through all this in order to have children. We shouldn't have to choose between having children or having to abort kids. We should be able to have children, have good jobs, and be able to live a very abundant life, a very full life. And so this is what I see that needs to change in the pro-life movement. We really need